Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, we did a couple of videos on my Teardown tractor. Unfortunately, it had blown an engine. I'd say about a month ago. It was a Kohler 20 horse. And having said that, we had a bunch of junk engines upstairs that somebody gave me. We were able to put an engine together that got the tractor up and running. And then again, like I said, we had three engines. And a later video, we went through and were able to get another one running. That's that one right there. And then we see how we have two more left over. This is the original one that came out of the Teardown that blew up, I think through a rod. And then we were looking into troubleshooting one of these. This one had no compression, and we found that the cylinder, even with the cylinder head off, we cup over the top of the jug, run it up and down. There was no compression going around the ring, so something happened with the piston and rings on that one. I figure I'm kind of steering towards making a project something unique that I kind of want to scab a bunch of engines together, but I need running engines to do that. So we got one, possibly we can get another one, and I'll tell you a story about something else later. We may even have a third. Anyhow, throwing rod, no compression. Let's go tear them apart, at least find out what happened to them. Possibly we can make something out of these two and make another engine. Without further ado, let's start turning some wrenches. So this is the one that we think through a rod. We can always spin it over. And I think we put our finger over one spark plug hole. I'm figuring which cylinder it was. I'm gonna say it's that one. And this one. Yeah, so that one still has compression. This is the side that blew apart. Let's start taking the cylinder head, intake manifold off, cylinder head off, and we'll get into finding out what happened to that. And let's see, would that be, so that would be the same side that is screwed up on that engine. I know the cylinder heads are, set up for each side. They're not, you can't swap them from side to side, but the piston and connecting rod we may be able to. All right, let's open her up. Yeah, the cam's still working on this side. We need to get rid of the rockers. I did get a couple of gasket sets too. So we got head gaskets. I think I threw a whole engine set gaskets I got. So we don't have to worry about trying to use the same thing over again. I think we need to get rid of some of these tins. And that intake manifold has to go. Let's go get a wire cutters, cut them off. So I'll tell you that story that I was talking about, what kind of got weird. So a while ago, someone contacted me on an engine he had, engines I think it was that he had, and it was on a, I think like the sucker that goes in the back of a truck, like a trailer for sucking the leaves up, and he had changed the engine out because it smoked, and we went to go, and that's what I thought I was working with. And after the first video, he's like, "Thanks for the shout out. That's not the engine I gave you." So the whole time I was thinking that we were just going to be able to do an engine swap because one of the motors just had smoked a little bit and we'd probably be able to, fix it. It wasn't even the engine that he was referring to. So I did a little searching, and up in my stash, I found the engine he was talking about. So we have another one of these that smokes when you kind of fire it up after it warms up, I believe. And these engines were given to me by a friend of mine who was moving, and he told me that he had bought a bunch of Walker mowers, like I don't know, 8 or 10 of them, and then on a pallet was these engines that were left behind. So these were like the old bastardized engines that were just laying around, that he had no idea what they were. So that's why we ran into so many problems. They were on a machine. They probably took them off for engine failure of some sort. And here we are dealing with them today. So we do have another engine up there, and the good part about it is I believe it has an output shaft on both sides. All right, let's we got to get these tins off. You think that is a 10 mil? Yes, no? Yeah. Probably prop it up in a Lazy Susan, huh? Anything that's attached to the cylinder head has to go. Is that one free? Yeah. Okay, we've got the lower one. This is the one I think we're just going to rod for parts, because if it's real rod, I'm sure it kind of beat the crap out of everything underneath it. Let's see if, nope, wrong size. That is a, go back to the, I think it's 5/16. There we go. Come on out. Yeah, I think just we need head bolts on this one. Looks like it ran kind of hot in one spot. It's all cooked. Right there. Is that like the oil return? That's the... No. Oil returns on that side. Yeah, let's take the exhaust. Must have overheated at some point. This is where the exhaust comes out. We'll see if the... did the one on the other side look like that too? Yeah. Let's take a quick look. Let's see if that's a common theme. Here's the cylinder head off the other one. A little bit. Nothing like that one though, huh? That one really cooked. Yeah, that's the exhaust port. Alright. Let's not lose focus. Right, let's get a socket for them and get that head off of there. And this should be the cylinder, not just carbon that fell in. Let's take a peek underneath, see what we look like. Not too bad. Not as bad as the other one that we took apart. Like I said, we got a new gasket set. On the other video, we had to take one of these gaskets and paint it with silver paint. So this piston should just move. Yeah, it's not even connected. I don't want to trash that piston in case we need it. So we need to be able to push that piston out from the bottom side. So we're going to have to open this side of the case and get the crankshaft open. Let's make sure the oil is out of it. That might be a good idea, huh? I think we may have already... We could look at that. See what that tells us. I don't think anything's in it. I think we stole the drain plug out of it anyway. Let's get the other cylinder head off. Take a quick peek at that. I think they're even labeled 1 and 2. Let's get that one off of there. And get an assessment condition that's in. Just threw my socket away. This one's got to come off too. And I chucked my socket. There you are. So I took 2 engines, and I've already put them together once before. Small ones. That. Not it. And it worked really good. That's that twin engine bike that I built. So I kind of want to... Oh, there's an issue, huh? Had a mouse nest on it. But this isn't the side that overheated. So I kind of want to... follow the same footsteps, see if we can get like 2 engines to run together. Again, like I said, it's still getting ahead of herself. Should bring a hammer over, huh? All right. Well, looks like I had a little bit of possibly blow by happening right there. You guys took a twist on me, didn't you? Alright, let's go get that side cover off, which is going to be all these, buzzing that all the way around. What does that look like? A 10? Let's back you up and have at it. Let's get on the bottom. How about that? There we go. Did I miss any? Let's give that a couple of love taps. So we got a little tab sticking out here. One more. I'll see oil piston out. You figured that had to be some oil in it, right? Alright. Fine. Fine. I'll get a pail. Just making a mess on everything. This oil was changed like 6 hours of runtime too, after before the failure. Nothing else is going to come out now, right? That was like all of it. There we go. So I'm going to lean it towards us. We'll let it piss for a little while. We'll take a peek inside. I'm not seeing like grindy metal. When it let loose, it was like I just moved, I was digging out railroad ties, gonna dig out railroad ties. And I went down around the side of a house and camp rather, and set it up, got it where it was, put the outriggers down, put the bucket down in the front. Right when I went to go dig, the tractor stalled. Went, like, I thought like the hydraulic pump or something. And the tractor started right back up again. And then it went to full clack. And you just kind of tell like it. That's when it threw a rod. Let's go stand it on its belly again. And let's see what happened. I'll get you closer. You got enough light? Can you see? Alright, we got little bits and pieces in here. What is that? I would say that would be like an oil pickup, right? I don't think the oil pickup fell off, do you? Does even... There's a rod. Huh. At the end of the bolt? Like, what is that? We'll piece it together. Yeah. The bolt came out. Bolt is broke. It's not yeah, it's like a little bit of carnage down there, but not. You would expect to see more. Let's go grab a light so you illuminate a little bit better. All right, so one more hunk of the rod there. But like I said, a lot of times you take these apart and you look at the metal, and the metal is just, there's like a lot of, like, it looks like metallic, you know, silver paint in the oil. And it really, you could tell like the little bits that are in here, but it's not what I would have expected to see. There's the rod right there. for the piston. Let's see if we could turn this crankshaft out of our way. And we'll push that. Should be able to push that rod, that one right up, and get that piston right out of there. Then we can probably look down and see what the crankshaft looks like, which is probably going to be pretty chewed up. And we should be able to reach in there and get that piston up out of there. There we go. And the skirt took a couple of hits. She kind of looks salvageable though, huh? Let's go look down inside that cylinder bore. Let's go turn that crank to where we could see it. Yeah. Yeah, you can see where it swapped aluminum for steel on there. I'm looking right at that. You see on that crank. Let's go turn it and try to figure out. There you go. Good. You look at it all the way around. Yeah. That other rod looks pretty loose too. I think the other one spun also. Look at a play that's, I think, in there. Let's see if we can get those caps off of the other rod. We'll get the other piston out. It might be just because that side of the case isn't supported and it's wiggling weird. Alright. Yeah. Yes, get that cap off of there. Yeah, see if we can get that other. That's loose. That wasn't even tight. And that one was loose. My guess is that could have happened from, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think it overheated, but then again, you know, the rod next to it beat the crap out of it and then probably loosened it up. We're going to find out in a second if there's any scoring on that one or if that one was still good. I'm hoping it's okay because I'd like to try to take a piston and rod and again use it in the other one. I don't see any holes in the case or nothing either. We didn't look at that the cover. Look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's cooked. Yeah, so whatever happened, it's definitely taking out both cylinders. Yeah, let's see if we can get that rod out. Yeah. Get that number away. Yeah, that's why I had so much play. It was gone. And these don't have like rod bearings in them. So my guess is the other one went and just transferred material over. Because the other one is, you know, rubbing right against there. Transferred and contaminated that one. Sometimes it goes up into the oil galley too, and you know, goes through the oil galley on the crankshaft, hits one, and then deposits material on this one and takes it out also. Well, they're done. Piston looks good on that though. It's got an odd offset rod. I don't know if we can flip them over and use them on the other side or if they're going to be in a left and a right also. Let's go put the other rod together. Here's that one. See if they have the same part number. 05A, 05A 24, 059, 24, 059. Oh yeah, so it's the same part number. Not the, no, actually we can't use that rod anyway. Junk. Yeah, so this side snapped and the bolt is still in it. And I think like I said, when I went to go hit the hydraulics, it went to a screeching halt and stopped. I thought it was the hydraulics because it didn't make any noise. It wasn't like it started knocking and did that. I had only when I went to go restart it, so it seized probably on the crank. I went to go restart it. It was enough to get it going again, and then it just, you know, rattle trapped itself to death. Because it ran, when I fired it back up, maybe about 10 seconds, and then you kind of hear it like throw a rod, and then it was just running on the one side. So while it was running on the one side, I got all the outward, because it's hydraulic. Everything's hydraulic, even the the transmission. So it was stuck where it was. I had to get back on the trailer. So I put the hydraulics up, put the buckets up, and I pulled it out to where I can get it on the trailer and brought it here. All right, so that's junk, that's junk. Let's go take a quick peek at that crankshaft. The journal, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be cooked on both of them. Yeah, definitely one a lot more than the other though, huh? Yeah. Could you fix all this stuff? Yeah, it's just not worth it though. I'm taking a look at the block. I don't see any issues. I don't see any smash. Like sometimes it'll take the skirt on the bore out. I don't see that. Let's go look at that cover. The only thing I do see is like that oil pickup. It might have just fallen off when we took it apart. Let's get that, let's drag that over. All right, so this is the oil pump. I don't feel any kind of weird in this. It may have just fallen off when we took the case apart. And when it sat like that. I think even if it did fall off, it still would have been, you know, drawing oil. It wasn't like it lost its location. Yeah. And this is the governor. The way the governor works, see how those little flyweights come out? So as this gear spins, as the RPMs come up, this gear spins faster and faster, and then these little weights push outward, and it pushes up on this nipple right here. That nipple in turn moves a lever, which is inside the block. And right there, it slows it down. That's what's hooked to the carburetor. That linkage up there, so as it goes to rev too high, it slows it back down again by pushing out, and then if the RPM start dropping down, that the cam goes, those little flyweights go back in, and it recovers again. That's just how the governor system works, and it adjusts itself. And all that stayed in place too. All right, let's go shuffle some of this crap out of the way, and let's go get the other one that we're going to try and save, and hopefully steal parts from this junk to make that junk work. So I know there was a compression issue on that side. I'm not sure about this side. I already, you know, of course I forgot what it was. Let's go throw a compression tester in it real quick, and we'll spin it over. We'll see what this side has before we tear it down. If it's got like 150 or so, we'll know that that piston is okay. If it's got 60, then we'll have to pull that one also. Yeah, let's see what we get. What is that? The other side is pumping fluids out, but we have like 140. That's pretty good. I'm going to show you the other side. Definitely looks pretty contaminated. I don't know if that's water and oil that's in it. Get you out of the harm's way. That's going to leak out of there too. Whoa, it's got good oil pressure. That looked like funky. What came out of it though, huh? That is definitely got, it looks like definitely water in there. You can see like the little bits of whatever is flowing by. We better drain the oil on this one first, huh? Yeah, look at that crap coming out around the piston. So, all right, let's get the oil out of it, and I'm gonna kind of jump ahead to getting that cover off. You don't have to watch all that. This is the only drain plug it has. You think the last time the oil was changed in this? That might explain some issues, huh? All right, let's see if we can get something in there to get that out of there. Yeah, the whole thing's coming out. That's fine. Come on, back up. However you want to play. That is water. Yeah, that's good for an engine. We gotta poke at it with a stick to make it go? What's the deal here? That I don't think is up to snuff, huh? There she goes. We'll let that go. We'll get the side cover off. Hopefully didn't trash anything on the inside of it. Too bad. Let's go crack this one open now. I give. We hung up on. Let me eyeball it. So this one has like an external oil cooler on this whole assembly right here, which is catching around the side of the block. So my guess is under the oil filter is probably another set of mounting hardware that this comes off and then the face can come out. Now using that over, we have gotta be more than one. That's the only thing holding it to the block. I see something else that's right here. I wonder if this pops off. And there's hardware underneath it. That's a check valve right there. Got a couple taps. Yeah, we gotta get. I think this might be a. Yeah. I gotta go eyeball that a little bit. I see a boss right here. It's gotta be bolted somewhere, right? It's magic. It's on there by magic. Huh. Someone's yelling at me right now. It's a bolt right there. Don't you see it? No, I don't. Alright, I'll find it. It looks like the center of it is an Allen. Put an Allen wrench in and maybe we spin this whole assembly off and then it allows it to come out of there. Yeah, I even see like a little, is that a brass thrush washer right there? Or is that just rust? That might be just rust. I think we're on the right track. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Not saying it's the only one holding it. It's definitely. There you go. An extra oil cooler. I don't think the other engine had that we used, did it? Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, the one that we saved has it also. Must be a option for the Walker mowers. Now we should be able to get this cover off of there now. Havoc we got going on in here. It's looking pretty cruddy, that's for sure. The oil pickup is still staying on this one, but boy is that muddy, huh? Had to be pulled for something. They didn't take it off for nothing. Right. Tilt that forward and let all the oil piss out of it, and then we have to get that one piston out to go see what's going on with that. Well, that's how we had to stab at it to get it to come out. I don't want to drop it. I'm just gonna slide, the whole thing's gonna slide off the bench on me. Yeah. That's the new engines, never change the oil in them. That's what you get. And I'm gonna scrape some of that goo out of there, and we'll get that one piston out. No chunks of nothing, metal-wise. That's good. Yeah, see if we get that piston out of there. Let's bring it to the top, that center. And we should be able to back it off and it should drop the rod. Now let go of it. Maybe not. It's behind the other one too, so it's gonna fight a little for access. Okay, there you go. My guess is the rings, I would have suspected them to be more stuck than what they are. The oil ring is stuck. The oil, you see, the oil ring is in all the way. It should be more bounced out. And you can see some crud there. Get that one back in. Get back in there. And I think they might have been a little temporarily bound up. You see some crap in between them right there, that. It may have just popped out when we were trying to get it. Huh. That had to be a reason why they pulled the engine, right? Let's go wipe the bore down. Let's see what we got for that. You got some kind of weird, whatever that is right there. My light's flipping out. Get another one. I think I could think of it. I wonder if, you know, the machine was left outside and it got water in it. Definitely looks like a little on the pitty look inside. Maybe that's what was hanging up. Just like all that right there. I wonder if that was what's hanging up and just wasn't allowing it to seal. And why they pulled it? There's more on it right there, right there. I don't know if I have a honing stone that is this size. I bought a 2.5 inch for the Kubota motor. I'm gonna go take a quick peek. We'll see how that bit. That bore looks bigger than 2.5. That's like, I'm guessing maybe 3. And close. Too loose in a hole. Yeah. We still have Old Faithful though. Try that. Little spring-loaded ones. Give her some lube. Don't chatter. Why are you doing that? How about reverse? That works. You have to crank all the way down. Yeah, there's a flyweight in the way though. See if we can get a little bit more room out of it. There we go. We'll be able to drop it all the way down, you know. Thing too, the stone has a step on it. Something else I worked on. So down is all the way there. I'm gonna hit. Of course, it unthreads itself. All right, let's see if it plays. How about we get rid of that little flex collar? That works. Let's see what our bore looks like. Hopefully, there's not like any big old pit marks in the side of it that are going to cause us an issue. I guess we could always use the other block if we had to, right? Man, it's looking like a weird step down below. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's kind of a weird up there too, huh? My guess if we work it a little bit more, we could probably get it. It's weird to see that. I don't know if it had like piston skirt slap or something that caused that lower. You know, I'm looking down there, that 4 inches down or so, where it's doesn't have the cross grain to it. And right there too, stuff that's on the side. I'm gonna go work it a little bit more. I'm gonna try some motor oil. That was WD-40. I figured we kind of rinse the crap away while we're going. We can work on that a little bit more and see what we get. Just make making a mess. Get some carb clean. Whatever's going on right there isn't going to improve much at all, huh? And there are some scratches going up and down right there at about 7 o'clock. So something was bound up. Well, I think we have enough parts. We should have enough parts to get a decent, whether we use that block or this block, and you know, this crankshaft looks like it's okay, and we can steal parts from the two of them to try to get one good one together. But I think I want to try to, while we're this far apart, let's get the crankshaft out of this, because we have to modify the crankshaft to do what I need to do. So let's go about that. So we gotta get the other piston connecting rod at least up out. I might as well just take it apart. We can go see what the bore looks like on that side and see if it's just, if both sides are that way or just the one. We got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of the flywheel. Let's just tear it down to nothing. Magnets were junk. That could have been what it failed for too. Huh. That's fixed. We could always glue them back on too, but yeah, the glue failed on them, huh? Here's the other side. I had 140. Let's go see what that bore looks like. Definitely had some water sitting there for a long time. Let's go pull that piston out. All right, number 2. Clean out some of the crap that's going to get you on the way out. Let's go see if we can get to that one. Got no flywheel to hold on to anymore. That looks like the oil ring stuck on that one too. So I bet you it was probably put away for smoking. This is a no smoking section. That'd be my guess. That's the cap. Looks decent. Go put that rod back together, and I think we gotta take the lifters out to get the cam out to get the crankshaft out. Yeah, let's see if we can get them picked up out of there. Trying to maintain where they were too. You're almost there. Let's go see what the wear surface looks like on them. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to pull the 4 of those out. Okay. And we should go get that camshaft out of there. The wiggle out. I'm going to rotate. Make sure our timing mark's okay. So each one's got a dot on it when we go to put it back together. There you go. Let's go see what that looks like. a little beat up, but not terrible. And now we should be able to get the crank, I would think, would just come right out of there. Awesome. So I'm going to go quickly give this a bath. I'm going to hit this end with a wire wheel. We're going to go clean that up. That's what we're going to have to go add to. I don't see anything too bad on the crank surfaces. Good. So I cleaned the crank up, washed it, and I don't see anything too bad. I do see some like staining right there on one side of the journal. You don't catch a nail or nothing on it. It might be just more appearance than it is over here. A little bit of corrosion also, but again, we're not trying to make a it's not like something that's going to run for the next 2,000 hours. I just want to try to make a toy out of it. So we need to be able to, if I want to link two engines together, I need to be able to couple it. And digging in my stash, of course, I found this. Whether we go with this or not, I'm not quite sure, but it's like a, not a Lovejoy coupler, I think, I forget the other name for them. And what that allows, first it's got some dampening in between, so if one engine goes to take a shock, there's a rubber disc that takes a little bit of the inertia out of it. And if there's any kind of like little bit of mismatch to it, you can see how much room it has for an adjustment, or if one, like say one wobbles a little bit, it has the capacity of making up for it in that. So this is flush to the case. So my thought is we are probably going to have to try to weld something onto the end of this. We got nothing to lose, right? I'm going to go grab you the nose cone from the other side. So on the flywheel side, this would get bolted to it, and we got a couple of these to work with. We can cut this down and on a lathe, my guess is whittle that down so that could fit inside there. It only looks like it's hollow for about to about right there anyway. So if we were able to get this one right here, that would be good. But the biggest concern I have is trying to deal with the crankshaft and getting something like this attached to that. Plus we have to make it so it's removable, because I remember that case bolts on over the side of here. So whatever's on here, I can't be, like I just can't weld that right to that, because I wouldn't be able to get the case on unless I did it later. Let me go look in the stash for something that is like roughly that size. We can kind of turn down the match. Let's go see what we got. We also probably could open this up too if we need to. We're over here in lathe land, where I would suspect it's going to be aluminum. What's that? Is that steel? I think we have a bunch of stuff like this laying around. Here's a piece we could turn down. Let's look and see if we find anything else that's more it's part of the lathe itself. And up top there's a bunch of junk. I think most of that's going to be brass up there. What we got? Those are steel collars. Would a drill bit shank be too brittle? You think if we were able to get a drill bit that was the right size, and go grab the yeah, if we were able to find a drill bit that I wonder if we're better off with like a softer material or a harder material. Yeah, it's just bushings. What are they? Like measuring. So I'm gonna go poke around, see what I can find out. I'm kind of thinking drill bits. I'm gonna go hunt through the, like there's somewhere around here there's a like a tote of like this style of drill bits. Let me see if I can find one that's a real close fit, and I'll bring you back. There's that. I know there's a tray somewhere. The only problem is I don't think on the drill bit we're not going to be able to turn it down, so we either have to find something that's like right on the money, or that's not going to work, right? Oh boy. let's let's go clean that up on a wire wheel. And I wonder if we should try like welding to it, maybe see how it takes a weld. I wouldn't think it would be an issue, but yeah, let's go try that. If not, we got that other piece of steel we can turn down. Yeah, it's looking pretty right on, huh? I don't know what size that is. 3/4 maybe? Should say, right? 7/8. That's what diameter to work with. Yeah. So now we have to try to... the problem is we're going to need a flat surface. That can be enough material to work with. If that's all the way through, yeah, just right on the money. I know we can cut this with a grinder. My concern is that we're going to need to get a flat surface to go up against the flywheel, the crankshaft, and be able to center it. And I wonder if we can maybe put the whole assembly in the lathe for aligning it. Let me go play around a little bit. I'm going to go bring the crankshaft over and we'll hook it up in the lathe and see if we can kind of figure it out from there. I tipped up some areas to try to protect them. I couldn't put them down here though because it was affecting it. And just kind of eyeballing it. It doesn't look terrible for the run out. Let's go see if we can throw a dial indicator on it. How it's showing up for you. Let's go call it 0 roughly right there. Let's see if you can roll it by hand. Actually I gotta, it's in back here, so I gotta, here we go. Yeah, about 8 thou. 7, 8 thou. I'm sure we can kind of pick away. Let's go let me go in a hair off that leading edge just a little bit. There we go. Might have been picking up the end of the thing. 6 thou. Between 6 and 7 thou, which isn't bad. I think we can get that. So I think, I'm not quite sure how I'm handling this yet. So this is the drill bit we're going to cut up. Let's what I wanted to try to do, I don't know if it's going to be necessary or not. If we can cut it, there's like a point here in the center. If we were able to leave like a little bit of a tab in the middle where we could use that, you know, leave that bump there and leave that for centering it. Not sure. Either we could flip this around, cut it, and how are we going to use that to center? How are we going to center this on there? We're going to hold it when we tack it? And will that make even any bit of a difference? I wonder if we can cut it, put this end in the chuck, keep it center. We could use the center, and I do have that behind there. Got a steady rest right there. I wonder if we could use the steady rest for zeroing the other half of it, so we can have that part. Actually, we got to flip it over, don't we? Yeah. So that part will be in there. The stub of the drill bit will be sticking out of here, and we can use that to center this part of it. And once we get everything knocked down, if we can get a tack on it and a tack on it, put this back over here, spin it, see how true it is, see if the nub is kind of moving around or if it's straight. It'll be kind of good. Can you tell I'm thinking this one out aloud? All right, let's go cut up a drill bit, see what we get. So I doubt very much that that drill bit is going to be soft up in that area. Maybe just the tip is hard, and I would think the whole bit would be. Let's just go and see if it'll do anything. It may help if I put it in gear. There we go. Let's just kind of see if it'll do any kind of carb, or it's just going to eat the carbide. Yeah. It may. So it might be okay. So what I'm going to go do, I'm going to go take a I don't have a good parting tool to kind of make a straight cut going in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the a cutting wheel and I'll cut the face of it right off, and then we'll work from the face and try to, you know, dress it, maybe give that little nipple for the centering of it. I'm winging it. I'm not a machinist. I just play one. We got a stub. Yeah, see if we can kind of take that face off of it and get a parallel? No. Perpendicular. Wrong way. Feels like something's not tight. Yeah, we're good. The owner. Every time. I guess if I got rid of some of the stick out on the cutting tool, it would probably make a little bit better cut too. I'm going to go look on the end of the crankshaft and see what there is for like a receiving hole. And it's got a bit of a rock to it. I don't know if it's going to be this surface. Probably wouldn't hurt to take a cut on this, right? Or do we have, I think maybe we're just too fat already and we're not just sitting down all the way. I'm gonna, no, that's not the issue. Get on it. I'm going to go play with this a little bit and I'll bring you back when I kind of come up with something. I may just go cut that flush and see if we definitely get rid of a rock, and I may try to get the crankshaft in there too, and we'll do a cut on the face of the crankshaft to get that smoothed out. It does look like it's a little on the rough side. I don't think that was ever intended. Actually, you probably should put the dial indicator on the face, right? I'm going to shorten this up. It's just out there too much to vibrate. Let's see if that does us any better. made it worse. Let's go see how the end of that bit fits on there. See if it rocks anymore. Gotta go find it. Well, it definitely doesn't rock out on it anymore, which it was doing. I'm gonna go take this on a grinder a little bit, kind of clean up some of that surface and see if we can get a clean edge to get a weld on. I may work on that a little bit too. Like I said, maybe try to get that cone that's the same diameter as that, so it just kind of centers itself. Winging it. Well, I think I found this to be maybe a little bit better solution. So that all should, in theory, be lined up. So I'm going to try getting 2 tack welds on it, and we'll get this assembly off, and we'll see how bad this is out of round. And if so, then we maybe gonna like fudge it a little bit. Especially if you have like 2 tacks on it. Sometimes, you know, you get a tack on it, and then it pulls to one direction. You try to get one and the other fairly quickly, and you know, before it moves a little bit. And just with the 2 tacks, sometimes if it is out, you can kind of, you know, give it a couple of taps and try to get it squared up. And then once you got 4 on it, it's pretty much locked up. So I'm gonna go grab the welder, drag that over there, and see what we make out. Here goes nothing. Let's let that cool off for a second. We'll give her a spin. Hopefully she's not all wobbly. Let's see how terrible that is. Let's look a little out. Let's get a dial indicator on that, see how much it is out, and see if we can fudge it, like I said, and tap it once we get, see if we can kind of pivot it on those 2 welds. Yeah, let's set that to 0-ish. I do believe we have, yeah. Maybe the other way? Yeah. Let's get it out of gear. Rotate it by hand. That is the same as the crank, actually. Wasn't it just 6 thou? I bet you we got a dead on, and that's just how much the crank is out on the run out. That'd be good. Let's go check that. Which may even improve itself too, because this is going to be captured by a bearing. Let's go see. Yeah, go get it to that part of it. Yeah, 5 thou. And we are at 6 thou all the way. Let's go try it right for the middle. Fourth thou. Oh no, there we got a swing there. Yeah, I bet you the piece might be a little on the oval side. So what will we be able to, I don't even know if I want to correct it, do I? Let's so that is the, so what are we, 7, right? Yeah, 0, 7, 0. It's between 6 and 7. Let's I'm gonna take a Sharpie and we'll mark the high side there, and we'll see where it lines up here. If it's the same, we're going to leave it alone, because this is going to be captured from the bearing that's on the engine case, and it may get much better. So let me go find one. I thought I saw one over here. Yes, I'm not saying it's any good, but we're going to go call that right there is the furthest go see if that repeats itself. Right there. And we are looking for the greatest number. So the greatest number on this one is right there. So it's a hair off. I don't know if I went for a couple of thou. Do I really want to go chase that? I think we're better off just kind of welding it like it is. I think we should put it all back together again. I'll get a couple more tacks on it. You know, one there, one there. We'll check it. If that's good, I'm just going to buzz it all the way around and we're going to call that for the win. Let's continue with this menagerie. Let's go see if we can do this. I don't know if you guys can see the gauge. It's not straight on, but at least we're... Let's go give it something like that. Because again, this has a bunch of play in it anyway, so let's just go see how things are stacking up for us. 10. It's a -2, like 12th hour run out. But that's not even sitting on here all the way, so yeah. Breaks it right off. Don't do that. We might be able to index this too. When we find it has a sweet spot, whatever this is out, we'll compromise it. Compromise? No. Cancel. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. All right, couple more welds. And we'll check it one more time. And how about now? 5. And it's still about the same. 5. Maybe 3 the other way. So if we were to push it that way, I may try giving it a whack with a hammer right here. I have a feeling the only thing we're going to do is probably end up moving it in the chuck, but let's just go see. I'll try to give it some support. Get off of there. It really shouldn't move with 4 welds on it. It really shouldn't do anything anyway. You guys can see it. 10, 0. Yeah. And what are we at here? 10. Yes. So we got like still the 7 and 8 there, and we are at about 10 here. I'm going to call that for the win. I think the collar has more than enough slop on that anyway. I just don't want any vibration. I'm going to buzz it around all the way and bring you back. We got all welded up, and I ran over and kind of cleaned it up with a tooling, but we got that much weld on it, probably about a ½ inch up the shaft. And we're looking decent. Let's go spin it up. Looks pretty good. It does a little bit of run out, looks like this way on the pulley, but I think that's the pulley itself. It actually might be fairly decent. I ran over because there was a couple of like weld little splatters on it. I wanted to clean up, and that just kind of kissed the surface. So I think it may have taken some of the run out just by doing that. I'm gonna hit that with a piece of sandpaper, I think. Get rid of some of the roughness. snug. That's the way I like it. I think that'll be just fine. Everything's nasty looking, but I say we let's go throw that cover on there. That'll indicate or locate that front setup, and we'll just like a bolt or two in it, and we'll maybe check the run out on it one more last time, see how we are in the block. Yeah, everything's kind of precariously supported. Let's see what we got. Probably put that on 0, huh? It looks like about 5 thou. Yeah. I think we're gonna be just fine. Again, I don't even think that Kohler has that much tolerance to it. I call that 5, 5.5. Bingo! It's like the factory made it, don't it? Well, that part of it worked out so well. I think I'm going to continue on, instead of trying to put the motor together, to make the other half of it out of this. And again, we do have extras in case we do screw it up. But I'm going to try whittling that down, see if I can get that set up. I'm not sure if it'll fit that big of a flange. To start grinding that down, hopefully it does grind down, and get that to fit in the other side of it. Wish me luck. We're within a couple thou, plus this has some heat to it, so this is going to go down a little on size. It's like almost there. I'm going to try rubbing some sandpaper on it to get rid of the coarseness that's here. And I'll let it cool off, and we'll check it. Make sure there's no crap on the inside of here. And we can run some sandpaper over that. I think we're getting pretty good. If not, maybe just like one light pass. What I might do, maybe I'll run it one pass over without indexing in any further. Like right there. That's all right. I think I'm just going to work on just polishing that, and I think we'll be able to dial it right in. Yeah, I think we're going to leave it just like that. I may take let that cool down. If I get a little wire wheel on like a Dremel or something, clean up some of the crap that's inside there. A little bit of a coating on there. A shellac of sorts. I think we got it though. Get in there. Oh yeah. I don't know, I can't ask for better than that, I don't think. Let them sit in temperature, but I think that's kind of what we want. More money. Sure, if we drove that home, it'd be on there. Good. Let's leave it well enough alone. Little weights. I got the two engines just kind of sitting there with the coupler in between. Took the spark plugs out of this so we could spin it. Looks pretty good. Like, they'd have to be all squared up. Let's go hook the jumper pack up to this, and probably bring it up to about 400 RPM. We can kind of see if there's anything outlying. Again, they're not lined up on the bottom. They're just kind of eyeballed. See what happens. So this could work well. It'll totally suck. Let me hold the big one down across to both of them. All right. No jumper. My jumper pack dead? Looks pretty consistent, but like I said, even if it has like a misalignment, should still be able to do what we needed to do. That looks pretty good. I like that. Again, once we start feeling the resistance of the other engine on it. So we still have to build a motor. I'm not quite sure what case we're going to use, and we'll just pick the best parts of them all. Probably hone both cylinders. We'll see which one kind of cleans up, and just make sure that that's when I had thrown a rod, that there's nothing screwed up inside that case. Maybe we'll go for that one if the bores look good. Again, we still have to go through all that crap, go through the cylinder heads, and then my guess is probably what we can do is we'll get like 2 metal bars, and we'll square everything up and drill them. We could bolt them down, and I don't know if one starter will be enough to start the two engines. We can run them, each one can have an electric starter. It spins both of them at the same time. I want to try to get them 180 out from each other, so a piston is firing every 90 degrees. I try to make it somewhat smooth, be my guess. And if it's not, we can play with it, the timing in between there by where we index those pulleys on there. I always have to go cut keys and everything, but I think that's a decent setup. I would have liked it, to have the bore a little bit larger, but this is the only coupler I was able to find in my stash. So I don't think it should be too much of an issue because there's no side load on it. A lot of times, like, an engine will have a pulley with a chain or belts kind of going around. It always wants to pull to one side. The power is going straight through it, so it should not. I'm saying it should not be an issue. And then at some point, we're going to have an output. Another one of these. Once the flywheel's on, will be on this one, so we can have that for the output to drive, whatever drivetrain and transmission we got. Looks pretty good so far. Good. I'm glad I was able to get that far. All right, guys. With that, I am unfortunately running out of time. I have some prior engagements, appointments to go take care of, and I have no more time to go wrenching in the garage, although I would like to put that engine together and fire them up. That's going to have to be for another video. This one, I'm going to go cut it. I'm going to wipe up my floor, clean up some of the oil mess, and take off for the day. Well, guys, with that, the parts should be in today for the VW thing. There's a clutch. There's the tires already. I got the new tires for it, and some other pieces should be in. So I'm not sure if this will be the next video. We'll be back on the VW thing, but time will tell. All right, I'm rambling. I'm tapping out. Guys, thanks. I'll see you later.